All right, so this is the leather panniers from Triumph they used to sell years ago. You might see some videos on them nowadays, every once in a while. The latest one I saw covering it was, I think it was about 10 years ago. They used to offer these in their catalog. Didn't really like the look of the, put this down for a sec. Didn't really like the look of the new one in their catalog. There's little buckles here for it. Plenty of room. You see the Viking Baylor bags right there. The reason why I had bought these genuine Triumph bags, piecemeal, mind you, is these ones had actually given me a problem. Very good bags, a lot of space. As you can see, got a fair amount of stuff. A hat, some papers, some paperwork, this flashlight. But when I was initially putting the bags on the frame with the grab rail over here, I ran into an issue where I slid the mounts under here between the grab rail and the rack, which you shouldn't do. It actually bends not the grab rail, it bends these mounts in which you put the Baylor Viking bags on. So I wasn't able to lock one of the sides. So I thought, well, at this point, I'm just going to get and replace them with the genuine Triumph bags. They feel much better. In my opinion, they look much better than the Viking bags. When you're touching these, it's a very different feeling when you touch them. It's a lot better quality on the Triumph bags. I mean, the Triumph bags are genuine leather, but they're about double the price. You'll find the Viking bags are very good they're good quality. There's many positives about the Baylor Viking bags that you won't find with the genuine Triumph bags. One of the best parts about the Baylor Viking bags was that they're key lockable. That's probably the biggest thing. The good amount of storage, the great classic looks, how they look like these bags, but they're key lockable. These ones are not. Which, to each their own. I kind of changed my mind. I was like, well, I want to go with more of a classic style bag instead of the newer Baylor bags. I'm pleased with it. All right, so to get the what's it called, the leather panniers installed. First, what you're probably going to want to do is remove the seat, and then, as you can see, right here and right here on both sides is where the mounting points for the holes are. You can see the screws here. I'll actually put the sizes in the description. But the kit I bought came with the locks, basically, that will lock the bolts into place. Let's see, they're Torx bits too. So as a heads up, they are Torx bits. If you don't have a Torx bit set, well, good luck, to be honest. And that, let's see. I will cut to these being installed onto it, and then we'll continue from there. Now, something to note when installing these is that when you put the bolt and then the washer in, make sure when you put it in, you put the screw, let me show you. Put the screw in like this when you were putting it in. The reason why you do this is because if you were to put it in the opposite way, and it would be down below this. Namely, I will show you. It just wouldn't be right. If this bottom curvature was to be under, then the screw would just be cleared by the leather strap holder, with the screw on top of the flat end, as seen right here. It secures it nice and tightly. This isn't fully screwed in. I'm still doing that at the moment, but I just wanted to let you know, just in case, just so you don't waste your time. And it's a large oversight and will make your bags fly off if you make that mistake and you forget to fix it. Now we have the buckles that will secure the panniers to the motorcycle installed. Do you know that these Torx bits are in fact Torx T30? I mean, what I've got right here is a T30 on a 3/8 inch driver. You can really use a whole lot of, you can use a screwdriver, but you know, I like this for the leverage. I just tighten these bits up, these Torx bits up, until they are just snug enough. At the end, I will mark them with a marker, so if they move, I can note that down. I don't have the, what do you call that? The Newton meters, pound Newton meters that it needs to be torqued down to. I don't even have a torque wrench for that. If you do, please look it up and go out of your way to do that. I think it is worth it if you go the extra mile to look it up and do that. The main reason why I say that is if you're gonna do it, you should do it right. But if you don't, and you're like me, go to each one of these screws, take a Sharpie, mark up here, mark somewhere uniformly on each screw so that you know when you check on them if they moved or not. So if this one moves, if you mark it up here on the north end and it's all the way in the east or the south or the west end of the bit, the mark is, you know, hey, this actually moved. So then you know how I should tighten it up. Maybe I should fix it. Maybe I should look up the exact torque if it keeps happening. You do yourself a favor and do that. You don't want these coming loose on you and then losing your bags. These are all that's secure in your bag onto your motorcycle. And they are very nice, very expensive motorcycle bags. So do not cheap out on this. Do not, anyways, I will cut to the next part. All right. So now we have the rack itself. This is the only other part we need to install before we actually put the bag itself on, which will be very, very easy, very quick to do. But just in case you don't know, it's going to be placed approximately at the top of the suspension and behind the passenger foot pegs. I have the correct wrench. The size 12 wrench. This is cheap. A cheap wrench, but it'll do the job. As for the size of the Allen key up here, I think it's an Allen key. It is, let's see, 5/16. It's gonna be this, I'm gonna be selecting this top key up here, and I'll be using that. I'll show you that it fits even. Yeah, see, you can loosen it up like that. All right, so this actually ended up being more of a pain in the ass for me because this bolt, with all of the riding I do with the previous two owners, this is a 2022, mind you, get into this bolt is actually very difficult. So the issue ends up being every time I try and turn this bolt, this one that it's attached to actually spins. So what I'm doing right now is, you can see the pin that holds this into place, the whole peg. I'm taking it out so I can remove it. I will show you how to put it back together once I take it apart. All right, so here's the issue with what was done. This is the old screw. You can see how I stripped it. I'm glad it came. It's not focusing for some reason, but yeah, notice that. The reason why it's stripped, to be clear on this, is that what I'm assuming, this isn't a confirmation, but from all the lube and all the years of having this bike, whoever had it before me, or maybe it was me, it was so dirty, it was so stuck that it wasn't turning. I didn't realize it. And then it stripped. I took this out. This screw is fine as it is. It came out no problem when I started using both ends, the wrench here and the Allen key right here. But as it stands, I've got the replacement screw, same size. That is, yeah, see, perfectly normal. Obviously, you don't want to do what I did. Use some Loctite after you put it back on, but while I'm at it, I'll explain how you put this foot peg back on here. So there's a couple things. When you first put the foot peg back in, you're gonna wanna put the ball joint in here. You're gonna wanna put which looks like this. And then I'll put this piece like this. You'll run the large pin through this hole right here and run it through the peg, coming out the end. And then, as you can see, the pin right here has this little curvature in it. That is actually where you will put your pin holder, which at that point it should be coming out there. Yeah. All right. That was tiring. Putting this back on, the foot peg back on, is going to be a pain in the ass. So I want to point to you where all the pieces are before I do the other side. So this is the pin lock. And then what you see here, holding, what the pin lock is holding is the actual pin itself. You can see what is moving, what you're hearing click is actually the ball joint that is locking in right there and locks it at that position. So if you're ever wondering what the point of the ball joint is, that's what the point of the ball joint is. Make sure you do not lose it. And then I'm not sure what the ball joint is attached to, like this metal piece my fingernail's touching. Not sure what it's called, but make sure it's facing the correct way. And the sharp piece, the sharp little fork, is facing outwards when you put this back on. Mind you, most of the time, you don't need to take this peg off. I was just unlucky, and mine is old, and just, it was a stiff bolt, and it got the thing stripped. It is what it is. Seemed a little cheap anyways, if this is how it happened. That or I'm just strong, right? Not really, but the replacement bolt came with it. So make sure you have an extra replacement just in case you make the same mistake as me. Mine came with mine. I also, let me show you. So this I put between the rack holder, the bag holder, and the peg. So you see the metal, the pet, and the little washer that sits right here. You can't really see it that well. It's black rubber. You see a little cylinder right there. That's this, the rack itself, and then the bolt. Again, make sure it's snug. Good luck if you're doing this. It's a pain in the ass. Screw this little peg. Next time for the other side, I know my lesson. I will cut to when it's done. All right, pretty hot out right now. We're inside doing this. You can see on the other side, we got the peg out already. Just wanted to show you. I also managed to strip this earlier. You can see the little marks from my master work. Big, the word master is doing a lot of work there. But no, you can see this very clearly. It's very damaged. Got the replacement one right here. Just coincidence that I got this with it. maybe they predicted, hey, these guys are probably going to damage the foot peg, trying to take it off, so they added these. Who knows? Well, either way, it's helped me. Point is, I'm going to put this rack on for the other side. You can see it's in the packaging right there next to me. And we are so close to finishing this. I'm so excited. I will see you in a minute. All right. This is the end product. I will throw a picture up of how the Baylor bags looked. And I'll say these probably look even better. These sit a little lower than the Baylor bags over there. It's a much better look on it. That's in a personal opinion. You can like the Baylor bags, they're not bad. But I like that lower profile look. It still shows the beauty of the seat. You can see that's a British custom seat. It was pretty simple to do. I just had to finish bolting in the suspension that I overlooked. I didn't have it bolted in all the way. But needless to say, it's all done. Comparing the two, I'm gonna say, I'll wait for that to stop. In terms of looks, this one wins by far. You're getting genuine Triumph bags. It's their old set. Very good room, about the same room as you get in the Baylors, but there's just a better look to it. I mean, it just looks better. That's for one. Negative about it is anyone that is smart enough can walk up and steal the bags. I mean, but who does that, right? Just don't park your bike in a stupid location. If you park it outside overnight, I would honestly recommend you take the bags with you every time overnight, just to reduce that. They're expensive bags. They were probably about $450 on eBay, brand new. I think they're retailing for about what was it? $270 per bag. Put that number down to like the amount, like 200 something is what I bought per bag. Had to buy the harnesses individually. I had to buy the rack, the Holden rack individually, and that added up to, with shipping, mind you, a little under $700. So for me, this cost about $700. For you, it might actually cost more because the price I got these bags for was actually a very, very good price. Now, let's go over to the Baylors. Very good bags as well. Much easier to open. I want to emphasize that. They are much easier to open. They feel very different. They look very different. You don't get the same clean look as you get with the leather panniers from Triumph. You can no longer buy them in their catalog. They stopped making them. But you can find them somewhere else. The good thing about the Baylors is they're usually always on sale. They're originally about $400. I got them on sale for $330. Great deal. If you're like, I need this to lock onto my motorcycle, I cannot have this. I want to leave it outside. I want to make sure, hey, if I leave it out, no one's going to steal it. The Baylors are actually incredibly good. If you If you like the look, these are well worth it. For me, I'm gonna resell these. I'm gonna tell the person, whoever I'm selling it to, that which one was it? The left side bag, this one, the lock is broken due to various reasons, not in their actual design. It's me messing with and installing the bag wrong that made the lock on that one break. And of course you have these leather panniers, no lock on them, but I mean, just look at them. You can feel them and they feel like quality. You have to keep up with them, maintain them because they're leather. But that same regard, if you're buying this, you probably have the common sense to maintain your leather properly, all that. Anyways, I'll list some links in the description of where I bought my leather panniers if you're interested. Just be warned, it took me about a week to figure out everything of where to buy all that.